In the tumultuous landscape of the Middle East, geopolitical tensions have once again surged to the forefront as Iran launches a striking blow against a U.S. base located near Israel. This brazen act of aggression marks a significant escalation in the long-standing conflict between Iran and the United States, sending shockwaves throughout the region and beyond. As the world holds its breath, anxiously awaiting the implications of this bold maneuver, it becomes imperative to delve deeper into the context, motives, and potential repercussions of Iran's audacious move. Before we start, hit the like and subscribe buttons for more exclusive news. The targeted strike, which reportedly targeted a U.S. military installation situated in close proximity to Israel, underscores the volatile nature of the geopolitical dynamics at play in the Middle East. Iran, a regional powerhouse with a history of animosity towards the United States and its allies, has consistently sought to assert its influence and challenge perceived threats to its sovereignty. Against the backdrop of escalating tensions between the two nations, characterized by tit-for-tat exchanges and proxy conflicts across the region, this latest act of aggression represents a dangerous escalation that threatens to plunge the already volatile region into further chaos. The timing and strategic implications of Iran's strike cannot be overlooked, coming on the heels of heightened tensions between Iran and the United States following the assassination of a top Iranian nuclear scientist, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, purportedly carried out by Israel with alleged U.S. backing. The latest attack underscores the deep-seated animosity and mistrust that pervades relations between the parties involved. Furthermore, the proximity of the targeted U.S. base to Israel raises concerns about the potential for further escalation and the risk of dragging regional actors, including Israel, into a broader conflict with far-reaching consequences. Iran's motives behind the strike are multifaceted and rooted in a complex web of geopolitical, strategic, and domestic considerations. At a time when Iran faces mounting pressure from international sanctions, internal dissent, and economic turmoil exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, the regime may view such acts of aggression as a means of bolstering domestic support, projecting strength on the world stage, and rallying support among its allies and proxies in the region. Additionally, the strike may serve as a calculated response to perceived provocations by the United States and its allies, aimed at signaling Iran's resolve and deterring further acts of aggression against its interests. The repercussions of Iran's strike are likely to reverberate far beyond the confines of the Middle East, posing significant challenges for regional stability and global security. In the immediate aftermath of the attack, tensions between Iran and the United States are expected to soar, potentially leading to retaliatory strikes, military escalation, and heightened brinkmanship between the two adversaries. The risk of miscalculation and unintended escalation looms large, raising concerns about the potential for a full-blown military confrontation with catastrophic consequences for the region and beyond. Moreover, Iran's actions are likely to further strain relations with key regional actors, including Israel and Gulf Arab states, who view Tehran as a destabilizing force and existential threat to their security. In response to Iran's aggression, Israel may feel compelled to retaliate, risking the escalation of hostilities and triggering a wider conflagration with unpredictable outcomes. Similarly, Gulf Arab states, wary of Iran's regional ambitions and support for proxy groups, may seek to align themselves more closely with the United States and its allies, deepening existing fault lines and exacerbating regional tensions. Furthermore, Iran's provocative actions are likely to complicate efforts to revive diplomatic efforts aimed at addressing the myriad conflicts and security challenges facing the Middle East. With the Biden administration signaling its intention to re-engage diplomatically with Iran and revive the nuclear deal abandoned by the Trump administration, the latest escalation threatens to derail fragile diplomatic initiatives and undermine prospects for regional peace and stability. The specter of a nuclear-armed Iran looms large, raising fears of a new arms race in the region and further exacerbating regional insecurity. Amidst the uncertainty and volatility of the current situation, several key considerations emerge that warrant close attention and careful consideration by policymakers and stakeholders alike. Firstly, the role of regional actors, particularly Israel and Gulf Arab states, will be instrumental in shaping the trajectory of events in the aftermath of Iran's strike. As Iran's primary adversaries in the region, Israel and Gulf Arab states have long viewed Tehran with suspicion and alarm, fearing its regional ambitions and support for militant proxies. In response to Iran's aggression, these actors may seek to bolster their defenses, enhance security cooperation with the United States, and explore avenues for countering Iran's influence in the region. However, any escalation carries the risk of triggering a wider conflict with unpredictable consequences, underscoring the importance of restraint and careful diplomacy in navigating the crisis. Secondly, the Biden administration's response to Iran's strike will be closely scrutinized both domestically and internationally. Having signaled its intention to pursue a more diplomatic approach towards Iran, the Biden administration faces a delicate balancing act in responding to Iran's aggression, while simultaneously seeking to revive diplomatic efforts to address Iran's nuclear program and regional behavior. Any perceived weakness or indecision on the part of the Biden administration risks emboldening Iran and undermining America's credibility and deterrence posture in the region. Conversely, an overly aggressive or militaristic response risks further escalation and exacerbation of tensions, highlighting the importance of measured and principled leadership in navigating the crisis. Thirdly, the broader implications of Iran's strike for regional security and stability cannot be overstated. With the Middle East already reeling from a myriad of conflicts, humanitarian crises, and security challenges, the latest escalation threatens to further destabilize the region and undermine efforts to promote peace and reconciliation. The risk of unintended consequences, including civilian casualties, displacement, and humanitarian suffering, underscores the urgent need for de-escalation and dialogue to avert a larger catastrophe. In light of these considerations, the international community must redouble its efforts to diffuse tensions, promote dialogue, and pursue diplomatic solutions to the myriad conflicts plaguing the Middle East. Concerted diplomatic initiatives, backed by regional and international stakeholders, offer the best hope for resolving the underlying grievances and addressing the root causes of conflict in the region. Moreover, the urgent need to address the humanitarian toll of the conflict, including the plight of refugees, internally displaced persons, and civilians caught in the crossfire, cannot be overlooked. The broader implications of Iran's strike extend beyond the immediate military and diplomatic sphere to encompass economic and energy considerations. The Middle East remains a vital hub for global energy production and transportation, with any disruption to the region's oil and gas supplies having ripple effects throughout the global economy. Iran's actions, particularly if they escalate into a wider conflict involving key oil-producing countries such as Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, could lead to supply disruptions, price spikes, and heightened market volatility, with adverse consequences for global economic growth and stability. In the face of these complex and interconnected challenges, the imperative for multilateral cooperation and collective action has never been greater. The United Nations, regional organizations such as the Arab League and the Gulf Cooperation Council, and key stakeholders including the European Union, Russia, and China, all have a role to play in facilitating dialogue, promoting de-escalation, and addressing the root causes of conflict in the Middle East. Concerted diplomatic efforts, backed by a united front of international actors, offer the best hope for averting a larger conflagration and charting a path towards peace and stability in the region. At the same time, it is essential to recognize the underlying grievances and legitimate security concerns driving Iran's behavior. Iran's sense of insecurity, rooted in historical grievances, perceived encirclement by hostile powers, and a desire to assert its regional influence, cannot be ignored or dismissed. Any lasting resolution to the conflict must address these underlying drivers and offer Iran a credible path towards security and integration into the international community, while also upholding the principles of sovereignty, non-interference, and respect for international law. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us, what do you predict will be the implications of Iran's strike on the US base near Israel? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.